Welcome to today's What Moved the Market show. I'm your host Prem. It's Thursday, November 20th, 2025, and here is everything you need to know as the markets close for today. Indian equity markets delivered another strong performance today, with the Nifty 50 closing around 26,228 points, up approximately 175 points or 0.67% from yesterday's close. The BSE Sensex surged to around 85,668, registering gains of nearly 500 points or 0.6%. Meanwhile, BankNifty reached fresh record highs at around 59,668, climbing approximately 450 points or 0.76%. The rupee held steady at approximately 88.60 against the US dollar, remaining relatively stable amid moderate foreign flows. Today's rally was driven by sustained buying in capital markets following the previous day's rebound, with the market benefiting from positive global cues and renewed optimism around India-US trade negotiations, heading toward the first tranche closure. On the gainers' side, Eicher Motors led the charge with a stellar 2.7% jump, followed closely by Bajaj Finserv, climbing 2.3%, and Bajaj Finance gaining 2.3%. Reliance Industries also performed well, rising 1.9% on continued strength in energy stocks. In the broader markets, HCL Technologies, Tech Mahindra, and Infosys provided significant support to the technology space. Conversely, Coal India among the Nifty losers declined sharply, while Maruti Suzuki and Hindalco also saw selling pressure. An important development today was the listing of Fujiyama Power Systems, which debuted on the exchanges following an oversubscribed IPO. The company listed at 218.40 rupees, representing a modest decline of 4.21% from its issue price of 228 rupees. Though it recovered during the session to touch highs around 231 rupees. The subdued listing despite strong fundamentals suggests investors exercised caution on valuation metrics. Technically, the Nifty maintained strong momentum above the critical 26,000 level throughout the session, with buying intensifying around the earlier support zone. The immediate resistance now sits around 26,120, with potential for a push toward 26,200 to 26,250. Should the index sustain above 26,100, traders can look for targets extending toward the all-time high of 26,277. Support is firmly placed at 26,000 with a secondary support zone at 25,900 levels. For BankNifty, the record close at 59,668 presents new resistance zones at 59,800 to 60,000 levels, with support established at 58,900 to 59,000 levels. On the sectoral front, the Information Technology Index emerged as the strongest performer, climbing approximately 0.39%, supported by buyback announcements and consistent demand outlook. The auto sector also performed well with a 0.47% gain, led by two-wheeler and commercial vehicle stocks. Meanwhile, the oil and gas sector remained under pressure, declining marginally as global crude prices continued their southward trajectory. The broader Nifty mid-cap and small-cap indices participated in the rally with modest gains, indicating healthy breadth in the market. On macroeconomic and policy fronts, the India-US trade negotiations continue to progress toward closure of the first tranche, with Commerce Minister signaling that positive developments are forthcoming once terms are finalized on an equitable basis, protecting domestic farmers, fishers, and small industries. SEBI's recent guidelines on futures and options trading remain in focus, with tighter position limits linked to free float and cash market volume now actively monitored intraday, requiring traders to exercise greater discipline on leverage utilization. No major regulatory announcements emerged today that would materially impact equities. In commodity markets, crude oil traded softer at approximately $63.75 per barrel, reflecting concerns about potential market oversupply amid rising US production. Gold on the MCX futures dipped marginally to around 123,010 rupees per 10 grams, down approximately 0.03%, as improved risk sentiment dented safe haven demand. Silver on the MCX traded slightly positive, settling around 155,950 rupees per kilogram, with a gain of 0.54%. Both precious metals remain sensitive to global central bank policy expectations, with the Fed maintaining its current stance and markets pricing in limited probability of further rate cuts in 2025. Looking ahead to tomorrow's session, the Nifty remains in firm uptrend territory with bulls maintaining control above the 26,000 support base. If the index sustains above 26,100, a push toward 26,200 cannot be ruled out, potentially setting the stage for a run toward the all-time high. The key will be whether intraday volumes participate and whether any global headwinds or profit-taking emerge. BankNifty's strength at fresh highs suggests banking stocks will remain in focus with continued momentum likely if the PSU banking undertone continues. Watch the 26,100 level as a critical breakout point for tomorrow's directional clues. Implied volatility at around 11.97 levels remains subdued, suggesting the market environment favors directional moves over chop. Here's your actionable insight for tomorrow. With Nifty holding strong above 26,000 after fresh record close attempts and banking stocks hitting new highs on PSU strength, expect continued participation from institutional buyers. Focus on IT and auto stocks for momentum plays, but exercise caution around 2,628 resistance as profit-taking could emerge given the strong rally. Keep positions light and use dips toward 26,000 as buying opportunities if the broader trend remains your ally. Thank you for tuning into What Moved the Market. Send in your questions and market observations to our social media handles, and we will catch you bright and early tomorrow morning for the opening bell wrap-up.